Imagine waking up to an $8,000 repair bill on a truck you still owe money on. It happens every single day to Ford F-150 EcoBoost owners, right around 120,000 miles. One day you're driving to work. The next day, your engine sounds like a can of bolts in a dryer. And the dealership just smiles and says, "Time for a new long block." That is not a scare tactic. That is a receipt I have seen handed to dozens of owners. But here's the truth they don't tell you at the used car lot. This failure is almost 100% preventable. And if you own a 3.5L or 2.7L EcoBoost, you are driving a ticking time bomb right now without even knowing it. Let me show you exactly what snaps, why it costs a fortune, and how to stop it for less than $200. Stick around, because this next part is what destroys engines completely. Ford sold millions of EcoBoost trucks on one promise: power of a V8, fuel economy of a V6, and for the first 100,000 miles, they feel unstoppable. You tow your boat. You haul gravel. The twin turbos scream. Life is good. But here's the scary part. Ford engineered these engines for performance, not for decades. Inside that aluminum block is a time bomb made of plastic and poor design choices. And almost nobody catches this in time, because the failure doesn't happen at 60,000 miles. It happens just after the warranty expires, right at 120,000, like clockwork. Wait, it gets worse. Let me paint the financial disaster for you. You are driving 75 mph on the highway. Suddenly, you hear a rattle. Not loud, just weird. You turn up the radio. Big mistake. 20 miles later, the engine shuts off. No warning light. Just dead. You get towed to the nearest shop. That's $250 right there. The mechanic pulls the oil filter. It looks like a glitter bomb exploded inside. Metal shavings everywhere. That is the death rattle. Here is the estimate you will get. New crate engine. Long block, $6,500. Labor, 16 to 20 hours. Set 800. Turbos contaminated by metal, $1,200. Oil system flush and misc, $400. Total, $8,000 to $9,500. And here's the killer. Your truck is only worth $12,000. Do you fix it? Or scrap a truck you still owe payments on? That is the trap. And Ford knows it. So what actually breaks? Stop guessing head gaskets. Stop guessing turbos. The real engine killer is a part called the variable valve timing cam phaser. It sounds complicated, but here is the simple version. Your cam phaser adjusts the engine timing while you drive. It's supposed to advance or retard the camshaft for power or economy. Inside that phaser, a metal locking pin and oil passages. At 120,000 miles, that locking pin wears down. The oil passages get clogged with sludge. Suddenly, the phaser can't lock into place. The camshaft starts to float. The timing chain slaps against the guides. And this is where most owners get trapped. They ignore the cold start rattle. They think it's just an old truck thing. But that rattle is the sound of metal eating metal. One day, the timing chain jumps one tooth, then two. Pistons meet valves at 60 miles per hour. And just like that, your engine is a paperweight. But here is the scary part. Some EcoBoost engines don't even give you the rattle. You get the silent death. The oil pump fails internally. Or the cam phaser drains oil pressure while you're driving. You will see 0 warning lights, 0 codes, 0 misfires. And then, at a red light, the idle gets rough for 3 seconds, then smooth again. You forget about it. 2 weeks later, you're merging onto the highway, and bang. The engine locks up. No noise, no drama, just death. I have personally seen 3 2017 F-150s do this between 100 to 18K and 125K miles. Every single owner said the same thing, but there was no check engine light. And they are right. By the time the computer detects a problem, the metal shavings have already destroyed the main bearings. The repair bill? $8,200. And the worst part? Most insurance policies call this mechanical failure and deny the claim. You are paying cash, out of pocket, or scrapping the truck. Now most people think the 3.5L is the only problem. Wait, it gets worse for 2.7L owners. The 2.7L EcoBoost has a different failure mode, and it is terrifying. Inside the 2.7L, Ford used a wet belt to drive the oil pump. Yes, a rubber belt, soaking in hot engine oil. Engineers thought this was a good idea. It saves fuel. Quiet operation. But here is reality. At 120,000 miles, that belt starts to disintegrate. Little rubber chunks break off and clog the oil pickup tube. Suddenly, your engine loses oil pressure completely. At highway speed. No warning, no limp mode. The turbochargers spin at 100,000 RPM with 0 oil. They explode internally. Ceramic bits go into the cylinders. And you are looking at a $7,500 repair for an engine that's only 6 years old. This next part is what destroys engines completely. Owners replace the turbos. They don't replace the oil pump belt. 3 months later, the belt fails again. New engine destroyed. Same $8,000 bill, twice. That is financial suicide. Let me stack the real cost for you. Because most YouTubers stop at the engine price. Here is the real financial disaster. Towing to shop, $250. Diagnostic teardown, $400. Rental truck for 3 weeks, $200. Lost work if you're a contractor, $3,000 to $5,000. Engine plus labor, $8,000. Turbo replacement from contamination, $500. Dealer markup on parts, 40% over wholesale. Total real-world cost, $11,000 to $14,000. And here is the punch in the gut. If you sell the truck broken, you get $2,000 from a salvage yard. You lose $10,000 of value overnight. That is not a repair. That is a financial catastrophe. And this is where most owners get trapped. They try to fix it cheap, used engine from a junkyard, $3,500, but that junkyard engine came from another truck that failed at 120K miles. You are buying the exact same time bomb. 6 months later, new engine fails again. You pay labor twice. Now you are $12,000 deep into a truck worth $8,000. That is how people lose their trucks. Not to accidents, to bad repairs. You might be thinking, but I have an extended warranty. Let me stop you right there. Most third-party warranties exclude internal timing components after 100K miles. Read the fine print. I'll wait. See it? Cam phasers and timing chains are considered wear items. That means you pay. Even Ford's own premium care warranty stops covering cam phasers at 125K miles. So guess when yours fails? On 26K miles. Coincidence? Absolutely not. Manufacturers know exactly when these parts die. They design them that way. It's called planned obsolescence. And Ford is a master at it. Wait, it gets worse. If you have a 2011 to 2016 3.5L, there is a class action lawsuit. Settlement paid owners $300, while Ford paid $4,000 per engine to fix them. You get $300. They get off scot-free. That is not a solution. That is an insult. Let me give you the specific mileage windows of death. These are real numbers from shop data across 1-200 Ford EcoBoost trucks. 90K to 100K miles. Cam phaser rattle begins. Most owners ignore it. 100K to 115K miles. Timing chain stretches. Oil pressure drops slightly. 115K to 125K miles. Catastrophic failure. Engine locks up. The average failure mileage, 19,800 miles. That is 200 miles before the powertrain warranty ends on some certified pre-owned trucks. Do you think that's random? Of course not. Ford engineers have the data. They know the exact fatigue life of that cam phaser locking pin, and they built it to fail right after the warranty ends. But here's the scary part. The 2020 to 2023 trucks are worse. Ford changed the oil pump to a variable displacement design. When that fails, it doesn't leak. It just stops pumping. No noise, no leak, no warning, just zero oil pressure at 75 millimeters. I have a 2021 F-150 on my lift right now. 112,000 miles, towed in last week. Oil pump failed. Spun 2 rod bearings, $9,200 estimate. The owner owes $18,000 on the truck. He is trapped. He can't afford to fix it. He can't afford to sell it. That is the EcoBoost nightmare. Now for the good news. You can stop this disaster for less than $200. But you have to act before 100,000 miles. Here is the insider fix that dealerships will never tell you about. Step 1. Replace the cam phasers preemptively at 90K miles. Parts cost, $180 for aftermarket upgraded phasers, not Ford factory parts. The factory parts are the same flawed design. Use Dorman or Melling upgraded units. They have a reinforced locking pin. Step 2. Install a high-flow oil filter and switch to 5W30 full synthetic. Not 5W20, that's too thin. Ford spec'd thin oil for fuel economy, not protection. 5W30 gives you 20% more oil pressure at idle. That keeps the cam phasers locked. Step 3. Change oil every 4,000 miles, not 7,500, not 10,000. EcoBoost engines shear oil viscosity down within 4,000 miles. That thin oil flows past the cam phaser seals. Pressure drops. Pin wears out. Every 4,000 miles, full synthetic. Non-negotiable. Step 4. Install a catch can. 150. Stops oil vapor from coking on the valves. Coked valves cause misfires. Misfires stress the timing system. Stressed timing kills phasers. This next part is what saves your engine. Do these 4 things before 100K miles, and your EcoBoost will run to 250K. Ignore them? You will see that $8,000 estimate. Guaranteed. I hear the same excuse every week. I'll do a next oil change. Next oil change becomes 110K miles, then on 20K. Then one cold morning in January, you start your truck. Rattle, 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 clack. The phaser pin snaps. The chain jumps. And that $200 prevention just became $8,000 of pain. But here's the scary part. Even if you fix the engine after failure, the truck is never the same. Metal shavings hide in the oil cooler, in the turbo lines, in the VVT solenoids. You will chase check engine lights for years. Sell the truck? You have to disclose the engine replacement. Value drops $5,000 instantly. There is no winning once the death rattle starts. Only prevention works. And almost nobody catches this in time. Let me save you a Google search. There is no safe year for EcoBoost F-150s. 2011 to 2016. Cam phaser failure. Timing chain stretch. Class action lawsuit. 2017 to 2020. Same phaser design. Added oil consumption issues. 2021 to 2023. Variable displacement oil pump failure. Wet belt disintegration on the 2.7L. 2024 to present. Too new to fail. But the design is unchanged. Ford has known about this for 14 years. 14 years of destroyed engines. And they still sell the same flawed cam phaser part number today. That is not incompetence. That is a business model. They make $4,000 to $8,000 on every engine that fails. Multiply that by 200,000 failed trucks. Do the math. That's over $1 billion in post-warranty repairs. Your pain is their profit. Wait, it gets worse. The new 3.5L Power Boost Hybrid. Same cam phasers. Same timing chain. Same 120K mile death clock. The hybrid battery might last 10 years. But the engine? Still a time bomb. I have been working on Ford trucks for 15 years. And I will tell you something most mechanics won't. I own a 2018 F-150 3.5L EcoBoost, but I replaced my cam phasers at 85,000 miles. Preemptively. Out of pocket. My buddies called me crazy. It's not rattling yet. I didn't wait for the rattle, because the rattle means damage has already started. The metal locking pin wears gradually. Every cold start wears it more. By the time you hear the rattle, the pin is 70% worn. You have maybe 10,000 miles left. Tops. I did my phasers at 85K, my timing chain at 100K, my oil pump belt at 110K. My truck has 198,000 miles today. Runs like new. But here's the scary part. Most owners won't spend $500 on prevention. They will spend $8,000 on repair. It makes zero financial sense. But that's human nature. We ignore the quiet problem. We react to the loud disaster. And Ford banks on that psychology. You need to check your truck right now. Here is the 30-second test. Tomorrow morning. Cold start. Stand next to the driver's front wheel. Start the engine. Listen for the first 2 seconds. Quiet start. You're safe for now, but check again every month. Half-second rattle. Phasers are worn. You have 10,000 to 15,000 miles left. 2-second rattle. Critical danger zone. Schedule repair this week. Constant rattle at idle. Turn off the engine. Tow to a shop. You are days from failure. And this is where most owners get trapped. They hear the half-second rattle. They think, I'll fix it next month. Next month becomes 6 months. Then the engine blows on a road trip. You are stranded 500 miles from home. Towing bill? $200. Hotel for 3 nights? $600. Rental car one way? $400. Plus the $8,000 engine. Now you're at $10,000. All because you ignored a half-second rattle. That is financial insanity. Let me be brutally honest with you. If your EcoBoost is over 100K miles and you have never touched the cam phasers, you are driving a ticking time bomb. Every cold start wears the pin more. Every heavy tow load stresses the timing chain. Every extended oil change interval starves the phasers. You are not unlucky if this fails. You are statistically normal. The data says 68% of 3.5L EcoBoost engines will need cam phasers by 130K miles. That's not a defect. That's a design feature. Ford knows. The dealers know. The used car managers know. That's why so many trade-ins happen at 110K miles. Original owner dumps the bomb. Dealership cleans it up. Some unsuspecting buyer gets the $8,000 surprise. Do not be that buyer, and do not be that owner. If you want to avoid costly mistakes like this, here is what I need you to do right now. First, save this video. Watch it again with your notepad. Second, go check your oil level. Low oil kills cam phasers faster than anything. Third, book a cold start rattle test with a local Ford specialist, not a dealer, a specialist. Fourth, comment below, what mileage is your EcoBoost at? I will reply with your specific risk level. And one last thing. If you ignore the rattle, if you stretch those oil changes, if you wait for the check engine light, you will see that $8,000 estimate. You will lose a month of work. You will ask yourself why nobody warned you. I warned you. Right now. Go check your truck. Ignore this, and you'll pay for it. Simple.